Yesterday, the Dolphins had an opportunity to get to the playoffs. They needed the Broncos to lose. And apparently once Tyreek Hill realized the Broncos were going to win handily, he decided he was not going to play in the game. That, I think, led to some things. And ultimately, in the locker room after the game, he was originally, according to Omar Kelly of the Miami Herald, he was not going to talk to reporters. They talked him into speaking. And he said a few things that he's going to have a hard time taking back. Have a listen.
I feel like at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that, I need to reassess, about, my career and, just see what I need to do, to continue to get better, as a player, so I can continue to, reach that 1,000-yard mark. So it is what it is. This is my first time. I haven't been in the playoffs, man, so for me, like I said, man, I just got to do what's best for me and my family, dog. If that's here or that's wherever the case may be, man, I'm finna open that door for myself, dog. As I'm opening the door, I'm out, bro. So it was great playing here, but at the end of the day, bro, I got to do what's best for for my career and what's best, because I'm too much of a competitor to be just
Does that mean you're
out there.
Mean you thinking about leaving here?
If it is, hey, yes.
Look, that's about as blunt and as candid as you'll ever hear it from Tyreek Hill. The guy who wanted to stay for the rest of his career in Miami. He's a guy who always just kind of says what he has to say to embrace his current situation. He doesn't want to make waves. And then under the surface, there's always something else going on. And he wanted that contract. It'd be a lot easier for him to walk away if he hadn't done the contract. Now there's going to be complications. Who's going to want to take on his salary for next year? It's like $27 million in total cash commitment. I don't know that he's a $27 million guy anymore. And also, on top of that, Mike McDaniel yesterday suggested that Tyreek refused to enter the game because of a condition that wasn't a new injury. And it sounds a lot like Deontay Johnson in Baltimore, Devontae Campbell in San Francisco. And it opens the door for Miami to go after him for some of the money he's already received. This could, depending upon how ugly the Dolphins want to make this, this could get very ugly.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking, I guess, that he comes out in that way. I'll say this. I've been waiting for him to spout off, though.
It's amazing it took this long.
It is, because I will argue, and I do think he's still a $27 million a year receiver. I do. I think he's better than some of the other guys out there that we could talk about. You just talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? Who would you rather have, him or Tyreek Hill right now?
Right now, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I would still go with Tyreek, right? I think I would. But I think that's where Tyreek's frustration is coming from. And you wonder how much
Total package.
Right. Well, you talk about the rest of your career, I understand. Amon-Ra St. Brown might win, right?
But even, do you want Tyreek Hill and all the shit that goes along with having Tyreek Hill?
I got you there. That's certainly something to weigh, right? I was talking more physically on the field, but you're right.
Because I think that, look, when the Chiefs decided to move on from him, it was the culmination of he has been a pain in our ass all year long. Yep. That was the 2021 season, and I firmly believe as Cooper Kupp was approaching all of those single-season receiving records, he was losing his mind. I could do that too. I want the ball more. Give me the ball more. I need the ball more. No one ever said that, but you got the impression that's what was happening. So they decided enough with this guy. Yeah. Enough. We're trying to win Super Bowls, not placate a diva receiver. And that's okay. I know a lot of receivers out there. The attitude is, we want to win. I want the ball. The more I get the ball, the more likely we are to win. And in a place like Miami where they're not winning, it's even more of a frustration for him. I get it. Yep. I get it.
Right.
But that's part of what you have to take on with Tyreek Hill.
Right.
The talent level, when a guy is on the wrong side of 30, I just never. I'm like, the Bill Belichick. You want to move on a year too early instead of a year too late.
I get you there. There's certainly those things working against him. I still think he's arguably the fastest receiver in football still, and still one of the best weapons in the sport. And I think his frustration is not only not going to the playoffs, but he's going, wait, I'm Tyreek Hill. I run 4-1. I'm the best deep ball threat in football. and we don't throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field, whoever's playing quarterback. And it's not going to change because Tua's just not that kind of guy. And I think to protect Tua, they're going to continue to do short passes, get the ball out of his hands.
I mean, let's say it. The longer he holds the ball, the more likely he is to get another concussion, so he doesn't hold the ball long anymore.
Yes, and again, I'll always argue against that contract, and I think it's ridiculous the amount of money they gave him. They really bid against themselves and all that. But yeah, they got issues there. And then here we are again in another big game where they don't win. It's cold weather. It's not pretty and high flying, and they can't ever seem to win these type of football games. That's a problem. You know what I say about Miami a little bit. I think they're a little bit of, for lack of a better way, I think they're stars. I think that's what they are. Yeah, I think they are. And I think if you flip that around, I think they're getting it back, right? They're getting...
Could you be a little more blunt?
Well, we're in
with
Detroit.
Your assessment?
Detroit knows how to speak it real, and I'm still going high off their division championship. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought.
But either way, yes. I
thought I was the one that had the crack pipe today.
They got issues to deal with because they've wanted some personalities. They've overpaid people down there and all that. I think Mike McDaniel's still an awesome offensive mind and coach. I question some of the moves being made by the GM. You've heard me say that a lot through the last year. I don't love all that. And I think Tyreek Hill is looking at the team. He's looking at Tua, and he's going, where is this going? Where is this going? We have older guys that need money. Are they going to retire? Are they going to move on? And I think he's a little worried about, I don't see light at the end of the tunnel to where we're going to be real dominant next year or the year after that. And it looks like he's going to try to make a move and try to get the hell out of there.
Stephen Ross, the owner of the team, issued a statement last night declaring that Mike McDaniel and Chris Grier, the coach and GM respectively, will return in 2025. Our football operation will continue to be led by Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel with my full support. Now, some teams would say that functional organizations don't issue statements that their coach and GM will be back. Dysfunctional teams do that. And that was one of the things that came up last year when the Eagles, are you going to issue a statement that Sirianni's coming back? It's like, well, why would we?
Yeah.
And so I guess it was more in the realm of who knows, especially with Grier. McDaniel had gotten an extension before the season, and I still think the Bears should call, or if there's, if teams are looking to trade for a current head coach, I'd at least make the call and see if Stephen Ross would like to have this opportunity to move on, fall out of the sky, and give him draft picks. But the problem is they're stuck with Tua for 2 more years. They're in the Browns and Deshaun Watson category. Because of that contract they did, they've got 2 more years fully guaranteed with Tua that they aren't getting out of. Because who would trade for him right now? If he's available on trade right now, who'd trade for him?
I mean, they're not going to
get
that
anything. Contract.
There's not going to be much value. There's not. Injury history, not being able to be available on the field, and as you heard me say, and this is one of my problems with Miami, your best player should never be your biggest question in a big game. That does not line up. The Giants were never I don't know if Lawrence Taylor will show up today, okay? Or the
Well, wait,
Eagles,
I thought they were. They weren't sure if he was going to show up.
Well, he might not actually physically show up. He might have been partying, but they knew he'd show up to play football field. You know what I'm saying, though? Reggie White. I don't think the Eagles were I don't know if we can depend on Reggie White. The Dolphins, we go into every big game, especially if it's cold and we know it might be a defensive struggle, and we go, I wonder how Tua will play. That doesn't line up with that guy's your highest paid player on your football team. There's issues there. So they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and reconfigure, and I'll be interested to see what they do with this Tyreek Hill situation. Is this one where he realizes, oh, no, I did too much, and tries to put the toothpaste back in the bottle, and he knows, oh, no, I might have to give up some money. Hey, no, I'm good. I'll stay here in Miami. Or do they, have a talk today, and he's like, no, I'm done. See you, bro. I'm out of here. I want to move on.
I also wonder, and I have to do a deep dive here, they could go after contract money, bonus money he's already paid if he refused to play. They also could potentially invalidate his remaining guarantees and cut him because of that. Right. He might have really screwed himself up yesterday. Now, if they cut him and he becomes a free agent, like you're saying, if somebody out there wants to throw a bunch of money at him, so be it. But this thing has the potential to get very ugly between Tyreek Hill and the Miami Dolphins. We're going to take a break. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.